Hey everybody, welcome to this video guide for Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered on the Xbox Series X. Today we are getting 100% synchronization on Sequence 11, Memory 1, and to do so you need to make sure that you destroy 3 ships with 1 broadside attack, you destroy 2 frigates by shooting their powder stores, and you counterkill 5 enemies. So before we do get started on the memory itself, I would like to mention that you can take advantage of the timecodes that are in the description and in the play bar, so that way you can just jump around the video to see whatever you need. Alright, and before we actually do get started on the memory itself, I would like to mention that if you were to buy any ship upgrades, it would definitely benefit you in this memory. The ship upgrade that I was able to afford, literally the only ship upgrade I could afford, was the cannon upgrade, and that really helped me out because you need to destroy 3 ships with 1 broadside attack. So I'd highly recommend that. The Grapeshot is also a good thing to purchase, but definitely not necessary. Alright, let's go ahead and start up the memory. Remember that you need to speak to Mr. Faulkner and then select the mission on the map.
Lafayette promised me a fleet beyond compare and a captain without peer. Instead, I find myself greeted by one old ship and a boy in costume.
I promise we are all you need, Admiral.
I doubt this very much, but beggars do not choose.
And the ships I require?
They are yours, provided we survive this.
What would you have me do?
Hold the bay while I engage the main fleet. Should any British ships dare approach, destroy them. They must be kept from Yorktown.
Alright, so right when the memory starts up, head over to the mission marker and we are going to have some enemies pop up in front of us. One thing that I do need to mention so that you are aware, I mentioned this in the intro, but just in case you skipped ahead, you do need to make sure that you purchase 1 upgrade at a bare minimum. Just upgrade your cannons so that way they are actually able to pack more of a punch and they're able to gain up more distance, etc. You can upgrade a good amount of things. You can purchase the Grapeshot, and a lot of it will help you and be really beneficial in taking out 3 enemies with a single broadside attack. I only had the 1 cannon upgrade, and that was enough for me. So as long as you do, a bit of upgrading beforehand, you should have very little trouble with this 100% synchronization requirement. So let's go ahead and see. I'm lining up these shots right now. You can see I got 1, 2, 3, and 4 in my screen right now. And I think I got it first try, yeah. I remember doing this so many times, I didn't even realize I got a first try. But you saw how it was perfectly lined up. I even had an opportunity earlier on, but I knew that if I waited, I could get a better shot at getting 3 later on because there was 1 coming my way at the same time. You can also take a look at the minimap, and that will also give you a pretty decent hint at where the locations of the surrounding ships are if you can't see them on your screen at the moment when you are lining up your shot. But anyways, now that we have taken care of that 100% synchronization requirement, that is the first one done. Now go ahead and continue to take out the remaining enemies, and I will see you when the next group of ships show up and we start to take care of the next 100% synchronization requirement. Alright, now the frigate has shown up. It is the frigate that we need to destroy the powder store of, and there is going to be 4 more later on, so don't worry if you mess up on this one, because there is, more opportunities to come. So, the main goal when you are going for the powder stores is to ensure that you ram the head. What is the front? What is the front of it? I don't actually remember what the front of the ship is called, but you want to ram the front of the ship to open up the powder store section. That is where it is located, and as soon as it pops up, all you need to do is aim in your swivel gun, and it will basically immediately target that section and blow up the powder store for you. It is pretty straightforward in getting it, but it's just a matter of getting lucky. If you have the ram upgrade, this will be harder, because you'll more than likely take out the ship within a few ram attacks, and you want to have a few chances to try and open up that powder store. You don't get it every single time. I've done a ton of rams head on, and I haven't gotten it all of the time. But it is very easy to do it this way, so that is what I'd highly recommend. You'll see later on, one of these ships that are in the distance right over there were actually, they already had their powder store sort of exposed for me, so it was like, hold on, what happened here? It could have been that my ally ended up exposing it for me earlier on at some point, I don't really know. That's just my guess, because it was already exposed for me and it made it really easy for me to take that ship out. Hopefully you get the same luck as I do, but I think I was just really lucky there. And if you saw right there, I actually managed to hit that ship in the center rather than at the front, so I did not expose the powder store. So that was a bit unlucky, and you can see it's really close to being taken out, so there's no point in me continuing to ram it. I'm going to move on to one of the remaining 3 targets that I can still end up getting. And as you can see right here, this is the ship that has its powder store exposed. It's like, what the hell? Why is that happening? Maybe it's something they do to show you that you can go for the powder stores. I don't really know. But it was like, what the hell? Why? What? It's a free opportunity to get a powder store kill, so I definitely don't mind, but I was surprised by it. Hopefully you guys are lucky, or hopefully it was intended and that's just a free one for you to grab. And then from here on out, we are just continuing to wait for the opportunity to line up with these ships. Remember to control your ship using half sail, full sail, and stop, remembering that the slower you are, the easier it is for you to turn, and then you'll be able to ram in and line up if you get that shot right. If you sort of line up and get the run up just right, you can ram them in the front and expose the powder store. I think I get it on this ship right here. We're going to see it turn around right now. Yeah, right here it is turning around, and then bam. I didn't actually get it. I didn't actually expose the powder store. So this is what I'm talking about. It is not always going to expose for you when you hit them in the front. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Maybe you need to be just off center and not hit their own ram. I don't really know. It's a bit annoying that that happened, but it's also like, okay, we have so many targets, maybe it's not that bad of an issue. And then right here you can see I got it. I didn't hit it head on, but I did hit more of the front part of the ship. So that definitely helped me, and that exposed the powder store for me. And that is 2 out of 2 powder store kills for all of these frigates. Now we are going to be continuing on with the memory. Once we board the Man of War, that is when we are going to worry about the last 100% synchronization requirement for getting 5 counter kills. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so once your ally has been taken out, we are going to be ramming the Man of War. So I'm just going to go ahead and transition to the point where we start boarding it. Remember, once you do start boarding it, you need to make sure you don't kill the captain right away. What you need to do is make sure you get 5 counter kills beforehand, so that way you are still going to be able to get 100% synchronization.
The ship is yours, Mr. Faulkner.
Alright, so now that we are on the Man of War, you are right away in front of a large group of enemies. Well, I mean, decently large group of enemies, 3 enemies right now. All you need to do is counter kill them. Very, very easy. Remember, it's B and then X to counter kill, or that is circle square for PlayStation, I believe. So yeah, it's a very easy process. This is definitely the easiest 100% synchronization requirement in this memory. But, you know, everything leading up to it was definitely difficult, so I'm glad this one is an easier one. Once you do get the 5 counter kills, go ahead and chase down the captain, and then we are going to be escaping the ship after a very short cutscene. Alright, now that the ship is exploding and all of that, it is time to escape the ship. It's a very easy run off the ship. Just follow the path in front of you. Try not to mess up. If you mess up too much, the ship will of course explode. You only have 10 seconds, so just do your best to get over to the end of the ship and jump off to end the memory.
You mad bastard! They say you took down that man of war all alone. Perhaps Lafayette did not exaggerate when he spoke of your abilities. As promised, my ships are yours to command. What do you require?
5 of them must enter New York's harbor flying British flags.
Wait. I thought you might need some pirates killed or goods transported, and instead, you asked for us to, what, shell New York?
No. Of course not.
Ah.
Only part of it.
Explain yourself.
I mean to infiltrate Fort George, but it is too well guarded. Cannon fire will breach its walls and scatter its guards.
And a ship that flies the French flag could never get near it.
You understand then?
Not at all. But a promise is a promise, even when made to a lunatic.
I will light a signal fire when it is time for you to attack.
Vous l'avez entendu, récupérez leurs drapeaux qu'on puisse les accrocher. Allez, vite!
Alright, and that is the end of this memory. Definitely some struggles in the ship battles. I always seem to find those a bit troublesome in getting 100% synchronization, but definitely nothing too difficult if you're prepared. So, I hope that I was able to help you out with this video. If I was, drop a like, definitely consider sticking around and subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next 100% synchronization guide. Take care and have a great day.